Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. This isn't going to be a very long show, but this is a show nonetheless. I wanted to bring awareness to this case because honestly, I have a feeling I'm going to be back on in a few hours with some more conversations to have with you guys and everything. But in this particular case, I just feel in my bones that we're going to be... It's going to get wrapped up fairly quickly. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's going to get wrapped up fairly quickly. And again, the reason why I say this is because the information that I'm about to give you guys and how this story has been unfolding. Okay. So again, before we get into everything, please do me the solid. Please do me the solid. Hit that like button down below, crush it, do what it do, hit that reaction button if you're watching on these other platforms. If you are watching on these other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, make sure you're following. Hit that follow button. Follow, please, and thank you. Go over to my YouTube channel, The Pascal Show, right here on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed because we cover a lot of things on this channel. Well, I mean, if you watch on all these platforms, you see I cover a lot of things. Everything from politics to true crime to pop culture and everything in between. All right. If it matters, if it's something that we need to talk about, we are talking about it. So please make sure you are subscribed. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Set it to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload. Make sure you go check out my other channels too. I got the Pascal Show clips and Pascal Raw on YouTube. Go check it out if you can. That'd be greatly appreciated. All right. Of course, hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. And of course, check out PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there. PascalMerch.com. Okay, guys. We got to get straight into this because, like I said, this is not going to be a very long show because there's not a whole lot of information out here as of late, but there are some new updates that we have to talk about. Now, if you have not seen my reels, my shorts, or my TikToks revolving around this particular case, I hate to tell you this, but you're missing out, okay? You're missing out. So all I can say is make sure that notification bell, especially y'all on YouTube, because I noticed that y'all aren't watching the shorts that I'm putting out. And a lot of times I'm covering things because there's only a little bit of information out there, but I still want to bring awareness. I want to spread awareness about this, a particular case or something that's going on. So I hate to be that guy, but I got to be that guy. I highly recommend you guys to please make sure you have that notification bell on and check out those shorts because there's so many things that I'm giving you guys on those shorts that, I'm giving you a lot of times I'm giving you guys information before anybody else is talking about it. And I'm not sitting here saying that I'm the only source of news going on out here. All I'm saying is that a lot of times you guys will be like, well, Pascal, why aren't you covering this? And it's like, I did. I talked about it in a short. I did the whole case. I talked about the whole case in less than 2 minutes. You should applaud me for that ish. Was able to not waste too much of your time and just give you a less than 2 minute video about what the hell's going on this particular case. So I highly recommend you guys, once again, to make sure you are fully engulfed in this channel. All right. So make sure you're checking out my shorts, the long formatted shows like the lives and my independent videos, like my video on demand type stuff, or my shorts. Okay. The shorts to everything, because I'm covering a lot of things. Sometimes I'm covering something there that I'm in a short that I'm not covering in a live or in a pop-up video, as I call them, right? So just make sure you are fully hitting that notification bell, set it to all, so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, so you see what I'm doing, all right, and see what I'm covering, okay? But we got to get into this conversation. This is something I talked about, okay? I already talked about this. in a short, but there's been some updates. So I felt compelled to hop on here and give you guys a not super long short, not super long live, I'm sorry, but just some updates in regards to this case. And this one to me is screaming Emmanuel Haro. Now, if you don't remember that little boy, 10-month-old Emmanuel Haro, his mom drove him to, they went to a athletic store, all right, to go pick up some football gloves for one of her her kids. And while she was there, he went boo-boo. Okay, he went to the bathroom, and he was in a diaper, of course. So she said that she got out of the car, walked into the back seat, pulled him out, started changing his diaper, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, somebody took her attention by saying "Hola." So she turned, and then she got knocked the F out, and then she woke up, and Emmanuel Haro, little baby Emmanuel, was gone. Right? Now, she had a little bit of a mark on her eye. It was a very interesting situation, right? And everybody's sitting there going like, okay, we don't want to be a jerk. Right on the very, very beginning of that case. In the very beginning of that case, we didn't want to be jerks right off the bat because, that marking on her face looked a little faded, right? Didn't look so fresh and brand new, especially if you got knocked the right? You gone. Like that whole thing, that your eye is going to be like, damn near, you could see it throbbing from space, right? But but in this situation, everybody was catching her on the lie because of the marking was faded. It looked like she was near the end of healing from that marking on her face. In fact, she even put makeup on her other eye because she wanted to look like he only hit her from this side of the face, right? When it was all one big fetish lie. It was a fugazi, everybody. It was a red herring. Anyway, long story short, those two, Jake the Fake and Rebecca Haro, are both in jail right now, waiting for their time to see justice. Here's another thing. Emmanuel has yet to be found. Emmanuel is somewhere out there. No one knows where he is. But police believe that his life was taken by those two monsters. Now, they're both trying to play like, Jake's a good man. He's a good man. He's a good man, right? And that she didn't do anything. She's an angel. She would never hurt a fly, right? Something sinister happened behind those closed doors in that house. Something most definitely went down for them to that child. Now we're in a different situation. Now we got this precious 6-month-old baby boy by the name of Nnakai Pratt. Look at that beautiful smile. 6 months old, y'all. 6. Now, if you saw my short, I'll explain a few things. Of course, I'm going to give you guys the updates here first. Or, tell you the story before we get into the actual recent updates. And then you already know where we're going to get to because you see the title above, down below, wherever you're watching this show. But here's the thing. This 6-month-old baby boy, Nnakai Pratt, was reported missing in the early morning hours of around 8 o'clock in the morning yesterday. Then police have been looking for him. They've been going out of their way trying to find this young boy. But they've been staying in the general area. They've been staying fairly close to the apartment complex from which he allegedly was taken from. They've been looking at the apartment complex and the wooded area behind and on the side of this apartment complex. Don't worry, we're going to be looking at some videos here in just a little bit talking about this whole situation. But nonetheless, this is pretty much all they've told us. They said that this baby boy just disappeared and he was nowhere to be found. And then that's when phone call, a 911 call was made. And of course, they were saying, we're trying to find this baby boy. There's been some weird things that were going on in regards to the Amber Alert. They said that they reported an Amber Alert, but GBI Georgia Bureau of Investigations basically said that there was never an Amber Alert ever alerted, which is strange. But moving on, this is all that we knew at that time. But now we got some new information, which clearly, to me, sounds interesting. But before we go into that, I'm just going to play a little bit of a news clip for you guys. I know you guys won't be able to see it here on the TikTok. Don't worry. I'm going to play a little bit, or I'll explain everything in just a little bit. It's a quick news clip, okay? It's a quick news clip, but well, just take a listen, guys. This is interesting.
To breaking news out of Clayton County this morning, an active search continues for a missing 6-month-old.
That's right. Police say they've been looking for Nnakai Pratt since 8:30 Sunday morning. The search centered on an apartment complex on Valley Hill Road in Riverdale. 11 Alive 7 Haynock is joining us live this morning from that apartment complex. Seth, what are you learning this morning?
Yeah, Aisha, Jonathan, Clayton County Police is asking everyone in the public to keep their eyes open for this missing child. They said they've been looking for him since yesterday after he went missing from this apartment complex behind me in Riverdale. They have released an image of this child. This is Nnakai Pratt, 6-month-old baby boy, 11 pounds. He has black hair and brown eyes. Since yesterday, officers and K-9 units have been combing the surrounding neighborhood, going door to door and checking even nearby woods for the infant with no luck. Investigators have not released many details about how the baby was taken, but they are pleading with the community to come forward to help find him. Clayton County Police is urging anyone with information to contact them directly at the number on your screen or dial 911 immediately. Now, neighbors we spoke to Sunday tell us they saw the baby's parents speaking with police on site. Neighbors also say there is a large wooded area here near the complex and that police were searching there as well as the trunk of a car. As of now, though, police have not released information about a possible suspect. Now, we have reached out to Clayton Police this morning. We've asked for an update as far as their plans today as they continue to the search, and if they have received any new tips or any details about a suspect. We're waiting to hear back, but hopefully we do get that update soon.
Okay, so she said a lot in less than 2 minutes. So I'm going to explain it all in just a little bit. But as you guys can see, all right, for those of y'all who could see the video, all right, you could clearly see that they have impounded 2 different cars. In that video, you see them towing 2 different cars, okay? One of them, apparently, baby boy was in that car. At least that's what they were saying. There's a reason why I'm saying that there is a connection or there's a comparison to this whole Emmanuel Haro situation. All right. And don't worry, I'm going to get to that in just a little bit. OK, because that's the part, of course, we need to talk about and we're going to get into very, very soon. But nonetheless, this to me is screaming Emmanuel Haro. Only difference is that now we got new updates where it didn't take them 3 weeks or a week or 2 weeks or 2 days or 7 days or anything like that. They finally have made some quick adjustments and quick changes in this case. You see 2 cars that were taken. They have mainly been sticking around the apartment complex and the wooded area surrounding the apartment complex. Why? Why would they stick around in the apartment complex or in the wooded area near the apartment complex? Because what they said is, they said that whoever took this baby boy at the time left and they didn't know which way the person went. That's what the family, the parents, okay, are saying, or at the time are saying. We didn't know where he went. The assailant, whoever took our baby in the middle of the day, not even in the middle of the night, middle of the day, or middle of the morning, in a direction that we don't know. Does that make any sense to you right off the bat? I'm just asking real quick. I'm just asking, does that make any earthly sense to you at all? No, it doesn't. All right. But they're sitting there going, oh yeah, we, because here's the thing. Let me remind you, this is not This is not a Cody Bigsby situation or Corey Bigsby situation, right? Where it's like a 2-year-old that just, the possibility of a 2-year-old running outside of a house unattended to is possible. Would they get very far without having any issues? I doubt it. Okay. Or yes, I'm sure they would. Okay. Without any problems? No, they'd have plenty of problems, right? But we're talking about a 6-month-old baby. 6-month-old baby. This baby didn't just get up and walk out by himself. Didn't sit there and say, "Oh, I can't handle these living conditions. I can't live under these conditions. I'm out," and chuck up the deuces. It's 6 months old. So there's no way that this kid could have just got up and walked. There's no way that this kid could have crawled out successfully out of the house. Someone took him, either took him alive or took him not alive. There's just 2 different options. That is it. There's no other options, guys. There's no other options. So we got more. We are now hearing that the father has been arrested now. Okay. We got some new updates to that. But now we're getting more story about why this father is being arrested. And apparently he was arrested before this, but now he's being added as the suspect to this whole situation where his 6-month-old baby boy has gone missing. Yeah. So now he's a suspect in the disappearance of his baby boy. You want to know why? Because lie. Keep on lying. Because eventually, the more you lie, the worse it sounds, and the truth quickly comes out and exposes you for the liar that you are. Let's take a look at this. It's crazy. So Clayton County Police name father as suspect in baby's disappearance. And I hate to say this. But I have a feeling this is not going to be a fairy tale ending. We're not going to see a happy ending in this situation. I really don't. Okay? I really don't see anything of that sort right now. And I hate to say it. I don't want to be that guy. I believe, I always try to think people are good people. There's no way that bad things can happen. We're all good people. We all want good things for our kids. We all want to try really, really hard to be better for our families, etc. And that we would never harm a hair on our children. Right? But unfortunately, we don't live in that world. We are covering more and more and seeing more and more faces of evil of the likes we've never seen before. That is a very Trump phrase, but you get what I'm saying. There's only one way to say it. There's only one way to eat a Snickers. So here's the thing. Police in Clayton County, are searching for 6-month-old Nnakai Pratt after what began as a reported armed robbery, guys. Emmanuel Haro, like I'm telling you right now, this is Emmanuel Haro written all over it. So now it's an armed robbery and then a taking of a child. So this dude said, "Hola," and then took the baby. Dude walked up, said, "Hola." I mean, he didn't say hola, but you get what I'm saying. Okay? No, he didn't say hola. I'm joking. He didn't say hola. I'm just basically saying it's like he came up, said hola, and just took the baby. Okay? Took the baby and took some things from the parent. So Monday morning, The baby's father was arrested by police on unrelated charges, but by the afternoon, the police named him a suspect. So he had already had like priors, I guess, other warrants for his arrest, I'm sure. Maybe he had something in his possession, like, you know, some guns or something. I don't know. Okay. But nonetheless, he was arrested. And then later he was named a suspect. So he wasn't arrested right off the bat for his connection to this. He was already arrested at that time. And then they said, oh, well, while you're here, sir, you're also a suspect. Congratulations. Since we already got you here, let's ask you some questions, shall we, sir? So, according to the Clayton County Police Department, officers were called to the 100 Valley Hill Road in Riverdale around 8:18 a.m. Sunday morning. So, yesterday morning, after Antonio Pierce, the father of Nnakai Pratt, told police he had been robbed at gunpoint and that the suspects, he said 2 of them, took his infant son, Nnakai, from a car seat carrier before fleeing. So they said, give me your money. And let me take that 6-month-old baby boy too, while you're at it. But detectives say Pierce's story began to unravel. Doesn't that sound familiar? Only difference between this case and Emmanuel Haro's case is that the Haro family's story started to unravel, yet they were still able to stay home and chill in their home and eat and chill and do whatever the hell they were doing. While police were going in and out as they were allegedly cooperating to a certain extent. But their story kept on unraveling too now, didn't it? Crazy, right? Police said extensive searches involving bloodhounds from the Fayette County Sheriff's Office and cadaver dogs from Georgia Piedmont Region K9 Search and Rescue turned up no sign of Nnakai. Detectives also served multiple search warrants at locations believed to be connected to the case, but none yielded results. I have a feeling this kid was gone a long time. Okay? I really do think that this child was gone longer than just way longer than when he was reported taken by suspects at gunpoint. I'm just letting you know. On Monday, Clayton County officers broadened the search area, reviewing surveillance footage and canvassing neighborhoods for leads. Spalding County's laws, which is land, air, water search, their team joined the effort, bringing in another cadaver dog. Investigators have now named Pierce, 38 years old, as a suspect in his son's disappearance. He was booked into Clayton County Jail after early Monday on unrelated charges, including ganj distribution. So he had the herbage, okay? Driving with a suspended license. Oh, that's fantastic. And a child restraint violation. Wow. So he's great. Great guy. Jail records show he is being held without bond. Let's see. A child restraint violation. Hold on. I'm quite curious because I want to know a little bit more on what does that really mean. I just want more specifics on that. A child restraint, according to AI, okay, Google AI, a child restraint violation means a driver is being cited for failing to properly secure a child in a vehicle according to the law, which typically involves using an inappropriate car seat, booster seat, or safety belt for the child's age, weight, and height. This can also result in a fine, and the driver can be stopped by police even if there is no other suspicion of a violation, as it is a primary enforcement offense in some areas. The driver is held responsible for ensuring the child is correctly restrained, even if the child is the one who unbuckled or unbuckles themselves. Interesting. So again, what could have happened here? He's 6 months. So maybe no car seat. Maybe he didn't have a car seat at all. Maybe the baby was sitting in his lap while he was driving. That's possible too. But no matter what, I mean, you don't do that. Just so you guys know, you don't do that. It's a 6-month-old baby boy. You just don't. You don't even wing it. Even if it's like, damn, man, I live on the other side of the city, man. I got to go all the way there to get the car seat. Yes. Tell that person to wait. You know what I mean? Tell that person to wait and just go get the car seat, come back, put the baby in the proper car seat and make sure that kid is properly strapped in that car. Period. But people have done some wild stuff. We've definitely seen that, or I've definitely seen that before. Okay, jail records show he was being held without bond. Detectives became suspicious due to inconsistent testimony along with physical evidence that points to the existence of foul play. There we go. Existence of foul play. At this point, the facts surrounding the disappearance of Nnakai Pratt are highly questionable. So, what we know, authorities have not said what evidence outside Pierce's inconsistent statements led them to suspect foul play in the disappearance of 6-month-old Nnakai Pratt. It is not clear if there actually was a robbery either. Investigators have not said if officers recovered the infant's car seat or other belongings. Now, of course, if you guys know of anything, please call 911, or you can contact Clayton County Police Department at 770-477-3550. All right. Again, 770-477-3550. But again, like I said, you got the dad saying, yeah, I was robbed at gunpoint and that he took my baby. And that's it. Baby just was taken by a guy. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Now, I'm assuming, because we're going to be hearing a few videos here, I'm assuming that the father is not with the mother of the child, the biological mother. Because from what I hear or what I've heard in this video, it basically is saying that he was with another woman at the time, or they were questioning another woman, a woman that was in a relationship with Antonio Pierce. All right. So again, this is all bad, but let's we got something to look at. Hold on.
Just disturbing to have to keep waking up to see that we're still.
One of the biggest stories we're following involves a missing 6-month-old baby. This has been a story that we've been taking a look at because it involves so many parties in Clayton County. Our Kim Leffler has been following the latest. And Kim, I have to ask, where is the investigation headed at this point? Do police suspect family has anything to do with this? Where does the investigation stand?
Well, right now, police are releasing very little details, but we know.
Hold on, I did on TikTok. White Star 86 just said, "Did you see the baby has a twin?" I heard something about a twin. That maybe Antonio posted something about like needing milk for his twins or something like that, which is wild if that's the case. I heard that, I heard that story as well, but let's continue.
Officials were here for several hours throughout the day, searching multiple locations, including the crawl space by this apartment building that you see here, and also the woods over to our right. Now, Clayton County police say 6-month-old Nnakai Pratt was taken in a possible armed robbery incident and reported missing Sunday morning. They say he was taken by an unknown person in an unknown direction. Now, today we saw authorities taking away a car neighbors tell us belongs to Pratt's father. father. 3 other cars also got towed yesterday. We also saw investigators fly a drone into a crawl space and take a dog into the wooded area behind the apartment complex there, looking for any sign of Pratt. Now, police also searched two apartment units rather. One neighbor says where the baby's father lived. We also saw police drive a woman off of one of their police vehicles and take a few bags out of her car. Neighbors say that woman may have some sort of relationship with the baby's father. Now, take a listen to one.
So there may be somebody else was involved, or another car was involved, taken in for evidence or to be searched. Right, that was somebody who is obviously in a relationship with with the father of Nnakai. But here's the thing: I've yet to see anything to back up the twins part of the story. Still waiting to hear something about that. And if that's the case, then it makes you wonder, where's the other twin, if there are twins, right? He could have twins from two other twins. You see what I'm saying? He could have twins by another woman for sure. Okay. There are plenty of Rolling Stones out here in these streets. Plenty. Okay. Papa was a Rolling Stone. Plenty of them. So it's possible that, him talking about twins could be another twins. Okay. But let's continue.
Neighbor who we spoke with, who watched this investigation unfold yesterday and today.
When I seen them come back this morning, I figured they hadn't found that baby yet. So at this point, they're still searching, but those woods are deeper than they look, so they need to go real deep into them. Crawl spaces. If the baby is out here, I'm still hoping a relative call and say they got the baby, but nobody's called yet. This is sad. And this is also just disturbing to have to keep waking up to see that we're still looking for a 6-month-old baby that can't fend for herself. So at this point, where is the baby?
Now, police describe Nnakai Pratt as a black male, 11 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. If you see him, give the Clayton County Police Department a call. Clayton County, the last update we got from Clayton County Police say the investigation is ongoing. Neighbors here, though, certainly hopeful that they will find out where this baby is soon. Ariel.
The neighbor said it so well. It's so disturbing because your heart absolutely breaks for this little baby. You want to know where they are, if they're safe, if they're okay. Have police said anything about where their investigation is going next in terms of, you said they brought out some drones and some other equipment to search. Do you know if they plan to bring out any other technology to help with this situation?
Well, we saw police leave the scene here right around 2 o'clock or so. It's unclear exactly where they're headed. We have reached out to Clayton County Police for updates, but the last we've heard is that the investigation is ongoing. They were also out here for about 12 hours, neighbors say yesterday, gathering evidence and searching as well. So certainly they're putting a lot of resources to try to find this baby.
And Kim, just a reminder for people who are streaming along with us, where was the last place this baby was seen?
It was at this apartment complex in Riverdale, and I want to make sure I have the correct road for you. It's Valley Hill Road in Riverdale. The baby was reported missing here Sunday morning.
Oh boy, we got a few things, but of course, like I said, this is bad. And then of course, there's a lot of people that are kind of curious about
Sunday morning.
Hold on one second.
Kim, thank you so.
Hold on one second, guys. Sorry. I think there's a lot of people that are reacting big time to the fact that the only photo that we've seen so far is the one that I'm showing you guys right now, or that I've been showing you guys in the shorts, in the TikToks, the reels, all that stuff, right? I'll just show it again really quick so you guys can see him, just in case you happen to be in the area. All right, you see this beautiful, precious 6-month-old baby boy. All right, his name is Nnakai. Again, he's 11 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. All right. A baby. It's crazy, y'all. But this is very real. This is the world that we're living in. Yeah. It just mad. It makes me so mad. It makes me mad. And I'm hoping that he's found. I'm hoping that he's found alive. Really. I'm hopeful. But at the same time, man. Like I said, we live in some crazy times. We do have a press release from the police. All right. Clayton County Police, the chief, Kevin Roberts, put out a statement a little bit ago. So I'm going to read that to you guys here really quick here too. All right. So robbery and suspicious kidnapping of Nnakai Pratt. Okay. Of course, that happened yesterday. Okay. This is when they said this whole thing went down. So they say on October 12th, 2025, around 8:18 a.m., Clayton County Police Department officers responded to 100 Valley Hill Road, Riverdale, Georgia, in reference to an alleged robbery and kidnapping. Responding officers were advised by Nnakai's father, Antonio Pierce, that he was robbed at gunpoint for his valuables. And as the assailants left the location, they took his 6-month-old baby, Nnakai Pratt, from his car seat carrier he was in and fled in an unknown direction. So let me just make this abundantly clear. We can stop right there. Instantly, it's red flags flying all over the place. I already said it in the very beginning. When they say, "Oh yeah, they took my valuables," but before they left, they unbuckled my kid from his car seat, because those car seats are tight. Okay, those kids are in there. It's like this. They ain't moving for a damn thing. You got to put in some work to get that kid out. All right, you know what I mean. It's not. I'm not sitting here saying you're literally like this. Like I'm not saying in a dangerous way, but I'm saying it's nice and snug for a reason, to keep that child safe, so that they're not rattling around. So it takes a little bit to get a baby out of a damn seat, a car seat. So you mean to tell me this guy ran and said, "Give me your stuff, son"? Nah, bro. And then he takes the stuff, but then as he leaves, he goes, "I'm taking your baby too." And he took the time to unbuckle baby out of car seat, which takes time, depending on how your thing is set up. And some of y'all there's all these snaps and stuff. It's insane. It takes time, damn it. But he still, after he did all of that, dude ran off into the morning, ran off into the sunrise, because this was around 8 o'clock in the morning when all this went down. You mean to tell me, as you're getting robbed at gunpoint and they're taking your kid, first off, how would you know that your kid was taken if you're not looking? Right? Unless he was cooing, you just heard him cooing from afar. You're like, "No, Nnakai." But you didn't not once look in the direction of where they're taking you, taking your stuff and your kid. So unknown direction makes no sense. I don't know, man. I don't know which way he went, man. Oh man, my kid, man. I don't know where he went, man. You didn't see him going down the street, going north on Spruce Street? Come on now. Think about that for a second. Come on. It's your kid. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to be logical. It's common sense. So as soon as they say, it's fine. It's fine. People are evil. People have plenty of time to go grab a baby. Seen it in real life. People will do it if you allow it. Okay? But you mean to tell me after that, you're not going, "Nnakai, no!" You're not looking in that direction? Come on, man. Come on. So right there is the red flag. I mean, it's still, no matter what, the fact that the guy goes, "Hey, man, give me your ish, man." And then out of nowhere, he goes, "Yeah, I'm taking your son too, man." That makes no sense. And then afterwards, you don't know where they went? Word. I'm going to keep reading. As the investigation into the missing child advanced, detectives became suspicious due to the inconsistent testimony, along with physical evidence that points to the existence of foul play. So this is when you start going, what kind of foul play could it be, right? There might be traces of red, something of that sort, right? Something not good, clearly. At this moment, the facts surrounding the disappearance of baby Nnakai Pratt are highly questionable, and CCPD detectives have deemed Nnakai Pratt's father to be a suspect in his sudden disappearance. On October 12th, same year, okay, so yesterday, bloodhounds from the Fayette County Sheriff's Office, as well as cadaver canines from the Georgia Piedmont Region Canine Search and Rescue, Inc., were requested and responded to the location to conduct a search of the property and its immediate surroundings, which lasted hours, yet revealed no findings. Several search warrants have been served at locations CCPD detectives believe are relevant to the case. However, those did not yield baby Pratt's location either. So then today, CCPD detectives expanded their search even broader, setting out in the early morning hours to scour a larger area for surveillance footage and any other communication or community information that could be useful in this case. Spalding County Laws, which is land, air, water search, volunteered to use their cadaver dogs to assist with the ongoing search for Nnakai. It's an important note that on October 12th, Antonio Pierce was taken into custody on charges unrelated to the case. No other arrests have been made at this moment. Now, of course, like I said before, please make sure you look, if you know anything, please call 911, call local PD, call the Clayton County Police Department, please and thank you. But I truly think that we're already pretty much wrapping up this case. I truly think that they see if there was an existence of foul play. Oh God, I hate to say this, but I don't think that this child is alive anymore. I really don't. I don't think that this child is alive anymore. I don't want to say that because it hurts to say that out loud. You know what I mean? But there's something about this that just tells me I don't think wherever he is, I don't think he's breathing.
Ron, we've been here for the last couple of hours, and I do want to step out and show you what's going on right now, because just in the last 20 minutes or so, they've taken away this car. They're getting out here right now. The tow truck, as you can see, bringing out this white sedan. We do know at this point that this car is involved in the investigation. We don't have details on exactly how, but I can tell you over the last 2 hours, Clayton County police officers and detectives were looking through this vehicle and specifically through the trunk of that car, which you can see is still open. Now, we also saw a K-9 team headed into the woods of the area. I'm going to have Kyle, my photographer, pan to the right here. That wooded area behind this apartment complex on Valley Hill Road, we saw a K-9 team go back there about an hour and a half ago. After that team disappeared there, we did not see them come back out. We do know that all the Clayton County police officers and detectives at this point have pretty much wrapped up the investigation. We reached out to find out if this child is still considered missing. At this point, we do believe he is. That's a 6-month-old Nnakai Pratt. Still on the lookout for him, but we do know from neighbors as well that the detectives were out here on scene earlier questioning both of his parents. Still waiting for an update again from Clayton County Police, but as you can see, the investigation pretty much wrapping up here at that apartment complex.
Okay. So as you guys can see, I mean, obviously, I know you guys can't hear that. They just basically are showing two cars getting towed. One of the cars is actually Antonio Pierce's car. I think that's a Cadillac. And then you got another car. I forgot what kind of car is that. It's a Mazda, like an SUV Mazda, maybe. I don't know that the brand. My bad. But anyway, no matter what, the other car apparently is the girlfriend's car, his girlfriend's car, not the mother of the child, not the biological mother, but allegedly the girlfriend of Antonio Pierce. So again, yeah, it looks like a Mazda, right? But again, the thing is that these two cars have been towed. They're being brought in to be searched, and they're looking at it. I mean, I basically am saying these are the crime scene. This is a crime scene. And I think that something obviously sinister, something very devastating happened to this baby boy. It has been over 24 hours now. Okay, it'll be 48 hours. And this kid is nowhere to be found. He's 6 months old. Let me remind you, this is a 6-month-old baby. So it's not like this baby could live on its own out there. All right? So this, like I said, if they don't find anything, if there's no results or no updates before the end of the night, this is not going to be a rescue. This will be a recovery. But I truly think that this is already a recovery. You understand what I'm saying? This is already a recovery. For sure. All right, I got a couple of things I want to show you from showing Antonio. Oh boy. I will say this. Language. I'm just giving you a heads up. All right. But this is the car. This is most definitely the car. All right. But this is his car. This is a photo from September 21st. So not very long ago. Okay. Right in front of his car. Antonio. Is he matching every car? Yeah, I guess it does. I guess he is. His outfit is matching his car. Yeah, really, he really is wearing. He is matching the car, the color of the car that he's in or standing next to. How many cars does this dude have? Okay. So there he is. Pull up this too. We got his mug shot. Bang. There's his mug shot, y'all. Now, here's the thing. Just because he's matching up to his car does not automatically make him a suspect. All right? His story ain't right. Like, I don't care. People do all kinds of crazy stuff all day long. Plenty of dudes that do that to look good on their social medias. Straight up, it's thirst trapping. You know what I mean? Plenty of it. Girls do it all the time too. Doesn't mean that they're going to do something bad to their kids, right? But his story is what gets me. Okay? It's his story for me. It's the breakdown of this thing. And I'm telling you, it doesn't smell right. Clearly it doesn't smell right. So much that the police were like, nah, this is not making sense. I don't believe it for 5 seconds. Okay? Hold on, I'm looking. I'm just looking at something here. Hold on. Yeah. So like here's one thing. This is the thing that I saw. Right here. I'm 2 families in. My twins gonna need some extra milk. So again, I am two families. So again, like I said, I don't think that they would have said, they definitely would have said Nnakai is a twin. They would have instantly said that. He is, the news would have said that. He's one of two twins, you know what I mean? He's one of twins or something of that sort. But they didn't say any of that. So again, he got two families. He got twins from another woman, I'm sure. And it reads, I am two families in my twins gonna need some extra milk. So in is and. Just so y'all know. Because I'm sure some of y'all are like, wait, he's two families in? Like, how is he in? How is he two families in? He about to go three in? What are you talking about? No, he's saying I am two families, and my twins gonna need some extra milk. But he says in, just so you know. So again, like I said, this is all weird. And now it does make you wonder, why did he do what he do? Why did he do what he did? Right? Why did he do what he did? That's the piece that just doesn't make any earthly sense to me right now.
Search continues for a 6-month-old baby that was reported missing here at this apartment complex behind me in Riverdale on Sunday. His name is Nnakai Pratt. He's 6 months old. Law enforcement has not yet released any details of a suspect. We're waiting to get an update on the search this morning.
I think it's very strange. I'm sorry, but I have to say this. I do find it a little odd that this baby boy, this is the only photo they got. This is the only photo they got of their kid. Like, I you know what I'm saying? I feel like you'd have like 100 different, like it would take up all your memory on your phone, the amount of photos that you got. Right? It just seems weird. But, to each their own, I guess, but something seems a little odd to me. Let us continue on. Let's take a look at this too.
Good afternoon, rather. We want to welcome you into 11 Alive News at 4. I'm Faith Jesse.
And I'm Danielle Nottingham in for Cheryl Preheim. We begin with breaking news out of Clayton County. The father of a missing 6-month-old baby boy is in custody while police continue their search for the baby.
That's right. This is a story we have been following for you. 11 Alive's Marissa Sarback joining us live from that apartment complex on Valley Hill Road and Riverdale, where this baby was reported missing early Sunday morning. Marissa, what is the latest on this search? So many people hopeful here.
Well, today we saw them tow away a 4th vehicle, and neighbors tell me that all 4 of the cars that we've seen towed away for this investigation belong to Nnakai Pratt's father, Antonio Pierce. As you said, Antonio Pierce was booked into Clayton County Jail today, but police are confirming that those are on unrelated charges. They say possession of marijuana, 2 driving without a license suspensions, and another charge of violation of a child not being restrained properly in a car. Take a look at footage that we shot from earlier today. This was on scene. You could see.
By the way, isn't that his car? Isn't that one of his cars? Or at least one of the cars that he was standing in front of? So is that, that must be his mom or some family member, right? But that's the car in the social media, in that social media post, where he's in, rocking purple.
Footage from when a woman living in the same apartment unit as Antonio Pierce was taken away in a Clayton County Police patrol vehicle, and their home was searched by detectives. Now, we did just see that woman return home within the last few minutes. I went over to talk to her. She said no comment on the situation. You can also see a new K-9 team was out here today searching through the woods and all around this apartment complex in Riverdale.
Or that's somebody who just lives in the area and he just was like, yo, can I just pose in front of your car? That's possible. But Interesting.
We saw that canine circling the dumpster a few times, but still no sign of Nnakai Pratt. Detectives also sent a drone into the crawl space underneath one of the apartment buildings. Clayton County is still calling Nnakai Pratt missing, but neighbors I spoke with say they are starting to lose hope.
I don't honestly think we're looking for a baby that will still be in the world. I think they're looking to recover a body, a baby's body at that.
The parking lot and the apartment complex here at this point have cleared out. Around 2 o'clock, detectives finished up their search around this area, the apartment complex where Nnakai Pratt was first reported missing, where his father, Antonio Pierce, lives.
Okay, so yeah, just a quick recap for everybody, all right? So everybody knows, and I want to make sure I pull this up, show this baby boy's face. It seems like this is the only photo that they got, which is wild. I feel like at some point you're going to have like 300 photos within the first month, you know? But that's just how I see it. But let me just say this, all right? And I'll explain everything here in just a second. So you got a 6-month-old baby boy that was, well, what they said in the very beginning, the father, the biological, let's just say the biological father, okay? The biological father, his name is Antonio Pierce. He said that he was robbed at gunpoint and two people took whatever he had, his possessions, and then took the baby boy, right? Grabbed him out of his carrier, his car seat, and ran off into the sun. Okay, ran off into the sunrise. All right. But he said that he did not know what direction they ran off towards. They just ran. All right. Which instantly I'm like, bruh, stop. Okay. You know, at least Rebecca Hotto was a little bit more creative, you know? The guy turned her around by saying, hola. She got knocked the F out. She passed out. She came to. And her baby boy, Emmanuel, was gone. But this one, dude came up and said, or two people came up and said, give me your stuff. And he said, hey, man, I'll give you anything. Here, take my stuff. And then out of nowhere, they said, and we're going to take your baby too. So then they took the baby and then they ran. And he said, I don't know what direction they ran off towards. I have no clue about that. So when he got arrested, because apparently he had other things on his possession, probably in his house. That's probably what happened. They found a whole bunch of stuff in his house, probably a copious amounts of herbage. Okay. And so because of that, he was already getting arrested for that. But as they started to interrogate him and ask him more and more questions, more and more questions, his story started to unravel. They started poking holes out of his story. Now they have his car. They believe foul play happened with his car or within his car. Evidence is showing that some foul play existed. So of course now they got cadaver dogs. They're going high and low. They're looking everywhere to find this 6-month-old baby boy by the name of Nnakai Pratt. Nowhere to be seen, nowhere to be found. Okay. Now, again, they still don't know where he is. I agree with the person that they just interviewed. I agree. I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer here. Okay. Or a negative Nancy or whatever the hell you want to call it. Okay. A sad Susan. But I don't think they're going to be finding this baby boy alive. That's just what I truly think. So with all that being said, we will see how this transpires. All right. But nonetheless, this baby boy is nowhere to be found. The father has been arrested on other charges, but now he's been named a suspect in the disappearance and possibly the unaliving of his own son. Here's the other thing that doesn't make any sense, and somebody else said it in the chat as well. They rob him of all of his possessions, but they don't take his car. That doesn't make any sense. Wouldn't they just go like, keep the baby in the car seat, give me your car? You see what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. If they're taking all of his possessions, they ran off somewhere. And from the way that they're saying, they ran off on foot. You realize how like idiotic and dumb his story is, right? How everybody's kind of side-eyeing the hell out of it and being like, is this another Emmanuel? Is this another Emmanuel Haro situation? And I think it is. Because you can't look at the situation and say, oh yeah, makes total sense. You know? I just would appear out of nowhere too and then rob somebody and then run on foot with an 11-pound baby boy, gentle, like delicate baby boy in my hands, just running. This child is not a football. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. So, of course, there are holes in the story. Sir Canine Mom, right? Sir Canine Mom. You know, that's a good question. I mean, you know, she says, can you tell me why these people have kids if they're just going to unalive them? Truly mind-boggling. I think people don't know how to handle their emotions. There it is. I don't think people understand or know how to handle their emotions. I also don't think that they know how to deal with maybe children that are having meltdowns, because babies have meltdowns. It just happens. And I think a lot of people instantly get a wave of anxiety, a wave of anger, because especially if it's a baby that's just crying nonstop, right? And you try everything to make the baby stop crying and it just keeps crying. I think a lot of people freak the F out and don't know how to control those emotions, their own emotions. And they start lashing out worse than their own kids. And sometimes they're doing these things in terrible ways where they lash out and then the kid doesn't breathe anymore, if you get what I'm saying. I mean, obviously, you know, we got to err on the side of caution, but, you know, I'm looking at this like he did something dumb. He did something really devastating, or he or his girlfriend did something. But the only person that's being looked at as a suspect right now as we speak is the dad, right? But we also got to remember that these are babies. They don't know any better. The only way that they can communicate is crying. You see what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I mean. When they really need something, if they're hungry, that's their alarm. If they have a wet diaper, you know what I mean? Or if there's something wrong with them, that's their only way of communicating. So there is no point in losing your mind over a baby that is upset. It just makes the situation worse. Not everything has to be so hardcore. But I've heard plenty of stories where parents, have lost their minds and then lashed out only to find out that they just unalived their baby. Plenty of stories like that. Plenty of stories like that. When we all needed woosah, right? The pressure points, woosah, and understand that at some point you're going to have to troubleshoot this and make this baby stop crying. And you just got to work backwards. Sometimes you just got to troubleshoot everything and just see what works and what doesn't work. And that's it. It's a freaking baby. You can't have a logical conversation with the child. With a baby, a 6-month-old baby. It's not like you're going to be like, honey, I got a headache. Can you stop? And they're like, wah, oh, sorry, Dad. I'll stop. No, they don't do that. Babies don't do that. You know? So you got to calm down, chill out. It's not that serious unless it is serious. You just got to calm down and figure it out and reverse math. Chill. Yes, a baby's going to cry. But that doesn't last very long. It's only there. It won't be like that for long. You know what I'm saying? It only lasts for a little bit and then it's over. But some parents just don't know how to handle it. The anxiety, etc. Or it's the negligence. Not feeding the baby enough. Not feeding the baby at all. That's a level of evil I've never seen in I can't even fathom in my mind as well. And there's that too. Not willing to feed the baby when it needs to be fed. Or there's some parents, I don't know, where they feel like the only way, like retaliation, like I got to punish my child because they're crying too much. They need too much. I'll feed you when I want to feed you, kind of thing. I'll change you when I want to change you, kind of thing. That's insane. That's absolute. It's a baby. He doesn't know any better. If they're hungry, feed them. If they wet themselves, change them. And just give them as much love as they freaking can. As much as you freaking can. That's it. So I don't know why parents do things that they do. You know what I'm saying? I don't. And here's the other thing too. It's the whole like I see the comments like, then don't be a parent then, right? But here's the thing though. And I get that. But some parents, they don't know what they're walking into, bro. Okay? Woo! They do not know. But they think they can handle it. So they're like, yeah, I'm going to be the best dad, or I'm going to be the best mom ever. Okay? I'm going to be everything I can be. This kid is going to need for nothing. And then the baby comes. And then you're like, oh, damn. I didn't realize it was like this. It's not a cakewalk. And I think some people think it is. And then when they realize it's not a cakewalk, they start losing their damn minds, right? See, this is the reason why I say, like, go do yoga. Pick something up that calms you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Go do yoga. Pick up crocheting. Learn how to play golf. Go to a boxing gym. You know? Go to the gym. Pilates. Whatever the hell it is. Start drawing. Do something that's going to calm you down. Because at the end of the day, these kids aren't doing anything bad except growing. All they're trying to do is grow. They want to survive and they want to grow. Yeah, read a mother-loving book. In fact, read a book about like how to calm the F down. You know what I mean? Something of that sort. But some people just don't know. And that's what's so sad about it. And yes, I think that there's a lot of parents that, especially with these kind of situations, they all need the license to parent. That's what I truly think too. They all need the license to parent. Like some of them should have been checked before they were able to even make a baby. You know what I mean? Before they could put that plug in the socket, all right, into the outlet to make that electricity go. All right. They should have been checked first, Because everyone thinks, a lot of people think that they're going to be able to hold it down. It's going to be a piece of cake. Because, the act of making a baby is a lot of fun, right? But then when you make the baby, there's a lot of responsibilities and there's a lot of stress. And some people just don't know how to handle or channel that stress in the best way possible. It's sad. Corey, what's up, man? Thank you so much for being a member the past 9 months. I appreciate it. Hello, Pascal. What's going on? Now just getting here. I think you've been here 4 minutes. So, or no, you haven't. Well, I think I just said it. So, but again, I don't think that this is going to be a good turnout. And I don't mean to be that negative person, but I do not think that this is going to be a positive ending to this story. I don't want it to be. I want them to be able to find this baby boy. In fact, I want Antonio Pierce to be telling the truth. But I just highly doubt that he's telling the truth at all. The things that he says seem a little bit odd to me. That's just me. We'll see how this whole thing goes down. But I did want to share this with you guys, this story, because, there is some developing news. This is very sad. There is another story I want to cover with you guys. It's another missing persons case that's very, very odd that we need to talk about too. And I may be doing that a little bit later on tonight. So just be on the lookout for that. Okay. Yes, classic. You're right. I'm still praying for the best. Wilder things have happened. I will say that too. Wilder things have happened. And Antonio Pierce could be telling the truth, but I'm side-eyeing the hell out of it. If police are looking at it and saying there's a lot of foul play, evidence that shows foul play, and the story that he's saying keeps unraveling, that's a wrap for me. It's the same thing that happened to Jake and Rebecca Haro with them saying the stuff that they were saying. It was all lies. It was not true at all. And they're still trying to hold that story. They're still trying to hold water with that story, which is wild, especially after police are unraveling information and showing that these two did something very bad to that baby boy. I hope nothing bad happened to Nnakai. I hope he's found soon, but I just don't know, guys. I really just don't know. Fingers crossed, though, guys. And a lot of prayers. Anyway, guys, that's the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really means a lot. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor before you head out. Hit that like button down below. Crush it. Do what it do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on these other platforms. If you are watching on these other platforms, make sure you hit that follow button, okay? Follow. Subscribe here on my YouTube channel, please and thank you. Go check out the Pascal Show clips and Pascal Raw. Subscribe over there as well. That'd be greatly appreciated. Hit that notification bell on all platforms so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it is random, all right? Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon, and, of course, check out PascalMerch.com. All right, guys, it's time to get going. I may be seeing you guys a little later tonight. Be on the lookout for that. All right, we got some things to talk about. Another case that needs to get some light under the sun, and we will be talking about that for sure. So anyway, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.